Sean Ferguson with FlickDirect, and I'm here. I have a doctor in the house. So how's your Comic-Con going so far? You guys get to kind of close this out in fashion here.
Yeah, it's great. I always like coming to Comic-Con. It's great to meet all the people, see all the cosplayers, and just get the vibe here, which is a kind of carnival vibe and full of a lot of smart, clever, funny people. Nice people to be around.
I have to admit, I was coming into the interviews, and there was actually people from London coming in saying, say hi to them and say we're here from England.
Oh, that's nice. Well, I think if it'd been around when I was younger, I would have come too.
Well, you've actually been here before several times. I actually walked into an elevator and you came in the elevator with me as we were going to a party.
Okay, was I nice to you?
You came in and it was funny because everybody was whispering.
All right.
And then as you were walking out, you were saying goodnight, everybody. And it was so cool and collected. Everybody was like, oh my God, that was the doctor.
Oh, bless you. I think it's manners. I think that's
there you go.
Thank you.
So what is it like saying goodbye to this character?
Yeah, it's very, I guess, in some kind of way, I think I probably haven't said goodbye yet. I think it's...
that is true.
So I don't know what that's going to be like until it happens. I'm slightly worried about that. I don't really know what that experience is. I've never played an iconic role that means so much, both to other people and to myself. And I think it'll be sad. I mean, it was sad finishing. It was sad, and because I love the people that I work with, and to work with them every day for 3-4 years it's been very, very special. And also to realize that I wouldn't be Doctor Who anymore is it's great being Doctor Who. So but you can't do it forever.
Right.
There reaches a point where it's going to sort of burn you out. And I really wanted to make sure that I kept on doing it to the best of my ability, and I was fearful that if I carried on, I would end up just showing up and saying the lines and taking the paycheck.
Well, we hear in the Christmas special, there's 3 doctors.
That's
in the
right.
house.
Yeah.
So if somebody yells for a doctor, who comes first? Who answers the call first?
What do you mean? The current Doctor normally, is the Doctor who.
I think you should just take over and say, I'm it.
They're all great.
I'm not going.
No, that could still happen. No, it can't happen now. Jodie's fantastic, and I think she's a great choice, and she'll be brilliant in the show. And I spoke to her last week, and she's very excited about it all.
Well, we hear there's a lot of controversy about the idea of a female playing a lead role, which is ridiculous, especially in the age of Wonder Woman taking over the box office.
Yeah.
What female role model do you have in your life that was a big influence?
Patti Smith, because I think she's such an artist and really chose her own path and was able to bring together poetry and music with a kind of a new wave punk kind of ethos.
Right.
So I think she's pretty amazing.
That's fantastic. Well, we really appreciate you coming
You're
out
welcome.
and talking to us. Good luck in the future with all your future projects.
Thank you very much.
Tell me something. What is it like finally? I hear you're out of the costume now. You were in that whole robot thing.
Do you know what? I wasn't. That wasn't me. It was a shame. I was too small.
You were too small.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me get in it because I was too little. I apparently was too short and not manly shoulders enough. I didn't have, the shoulders are too narrow.
Well,
what are you going to do?
You're too beautiful to be stuck in that costume
Stop
anyway.
it, you.
Please. These shoes are amazing.
They're great, right?
I wish everybody
Thank
on
you.
camera could see it. We'll take a picture and we'll share it later.
Share it. Rather than me trying to kick myself in the face.
That would be very awkward.
That would be pretty cool if I could actually do that, but unfortunately I can't.
So tell us about what's coming out in this Christmas special.
Well, it's very Christmassy. That's about all I know.
Christmas carols?
That's all I know, really.
Nope.
Yeah.
I
don't know much about it.
No?
No, I don't know
Not
much
at all.
about this
You don't
Christmas.
know.
Well, we've got 2 doctors in it. Very exciting. Mark Gatiss, just down there. He's in it too. But yeah, it should. I don't really know much about it. But,
Okay. So we hear there's a lot of controversy about this whole the new Who being a female. I don't think it's a controversy. What I want to know.
Nor do I.
What I want to know is what female role model do you have in your life that you think is like an icon that just is amazing?
Oh, Angela
influence.
Davis for me is incredible. I think the way she talks about politics, the way she talks about women, the way she talks about race, the way she talks about inclusion, and I think is incredible and something that we could all learn from.
Well, we really appreciate you coming out and talking to us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we've got a Christmas special coming up.
Yes.
What's going on in this Christmas special?
Wow. Do we tell them everything? Should we just
Everything.
give them
Everything.
the whole...
So page
let's
one.
Just, let's just go forward in time.
There's,
And like it was yesterday and it's all over and we already know. So we could just talk about it like it's already done.
Oh, okay.
Well, we know the first Doctor's there, as well as the 12th, and there's going to be the 13th as well.
That's a lot of doctors.
It is, and that's enough. I mean, I think that's enough doctors for one Christmas.
Yeah.
So if anybody yells, is there a doctor in the house? Who's
Well-
answering first?
They're just it's going to be a bun fight, as they say in Angleterre. That's French for England.
I absolutely love your character when she's so like indecisive as far as whether or not she wants to be good or bad at times.
Yes.
I-
Do you know what? That was actually quite tricky to play because I didn't really want to be good ever, and but I was so drawn and touched and moved by Peter. It's very hard to look into those gigantic grey watery eyes and not be moved by that as Michelle. So that was hard to kind of work against. But I don't believe that she's good at all. I think she's just trying on emotions for size.
I think it's always bad to play the baddie, isn't it? It's always the best role. Isn't
It is. Yes, it's much more fun to play the baddie, to be honest.
I have
and,
to
and
ask-
also I don't cry. I don't have a good pretty cry. quite bad cry. Quite a lot of gurn.
They're talking a lot of controversy about the new female Doctor Who.
There isn't any
There's
controversy.
no
Is
controversy.
There? Is there?
But
No,
what
just chit chat.
But what I wanted to ask you was, what female role model do you guys have that was a strong influence in your lives?
Maggie Smith in Hotel California when she thought she had a hump when she was going to get the Oscar. I liked that very much.
That's
I
insane.
do
What
like
about you?
her very much.
My mummy.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
You're getting extra bonus points when you get home.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for coming out and
Thank
talking
you. Very
to
nice
us.
to meet you, Sean.
Thank you so
My
much.
pleasure. Great
Thank
to meet
you. So what is it like being the keepers of the whole Who series and passing it on to another group?
Well, you inherit it from somebody and you pass it on. I mean, you never entertain the delusion that you are anything other than a curator, because I grew up with Doctor Who. I knew it existed before me.
Right.
And the thing that I most dreaded, and this will be true, this was true of Russell, it'll be true of Chris, it'll be true of anyone involved in Doctor Who, you don't want to be the last one. You want to hand it to somebody else. Of course there's a pang, but that compared to the raging pain of it ending, that is nothing.
It really has been around for so long, and it's amazing that I remember watching it as a child back before there were VCRs, which is really disappointing for me to think that I'm that old. But what is it like being so attached to this series?
Well, it's magic, isn't it? I think there's just something. There always has been something magic in the format, and I don't think right from the beginning they quite knew what it was. It's just lots of things came together, and the fact it's lasted all these years, it's a beautiful thing to have that incredible legacy, to know it is so beloved. It's a national treasure, an international treasure now, and the fact it just keeps reinventing itself, I think, is what's crucial. There are always certain things you need this, you need the TARDIS, but fundamentally, weirdly, change is at its core. And now we're about to have another seismic change, which is thrilling because it's a whole new era.
Well, you guys, it's such a big following. I mean, I bumped into people from London that came all the way here this morning just to see you guys in Hall H. What is it like having this I mean, it's a massive fan base.
Could have asked us in the street.
Yeah, well.
I'm from London, that's amazing.
Well, I mean, I always think the thing about being a fan, though, is it's not really about seeing us. It's not really about seeing Peter Capaldi. It's about the experience of making that journey and sleeping and lining up at night for the thing and meeting other fans. Being a fan is about being a fan. It's not really about meeting the perfectly ordinary people who make the show. It's not. It's when you see these people in the sleeping bags, that's the point. That's the game. That's what they're doing.
So what's going on with this Christmas special? Can you give us all the little details on it?
Well, no, but the 12th Doctor on the verge of regeneration, as you've already seen, and trying to resist it because he wishes to remain Scottish, as all true people do, suddenly encounters an old man in the snow, and he realizes it's the first Doctor who's also trying not to regenerate. So it's the two of them coming face to face, the same man twice at two moments in his life where he didn't know if he could carry on. and it's effectively the 12th Doctor saying, but you have to, because all these things must happen. And the first Doctor is saying, well, then so do you. Right. And having a mad little adventure that demonstrates that to them, meeting a character played by Mark Gatiss. It's a tale of, the Doctor failed the last time. This is why he chooses to rise.
We were talking about earlier about the fact that a female is coming in to play the role of Doctor Who. And we had heard controversy and all of it. We find it to be ridiculous because in the age of Wonder Woman taking over the box office and so many other we have female presidents in different countries.
This is the thing we've been saying all along. There is no controversy. Right. There is a lot of people reporting a controversy. I mean, even in Britain, people are reporting, my God, a female Doctor. How about a female prime minister? I mean, it's good to play a part on television. It's somewhat more of an achievement to have your own army, navy, and air force. I mean, that's pretty bigger.
Dr. Trumps them all. But, I mean, you're absolutely right. It's ridiculous.
Don't say Trump.
It's ridiculous in this day and age that it's not a story. It's only being made a story by a sort of shrill, dying voice, which is kind of shaking its fist at the universe. You go, it's nothing. Everybody else, brilliantly, is being so grown up about it and just going, this is fantastic.
Well,
80% approval on social media for the casting of Jodie.
Well,
there is no backlash.
We didn't even want to go into the whole controversy or anything. What we wanted to ask you was, what is the female role models that you had in your life that inspired you?
Well, there's loads. I mean, there's your mum. Everyone's role model is your mum. I was just thinking about this the other day because they had that slightly nonsensical argument about having losing the Doctor as a male role model and thinking, but hang on, why does your role model have to be the same sex as you? And so many times men talk about their mothers as their role model, and so many times women talk about their fathers as role model. In fact, the sexes inspire each other. That's actually the human condition. Right. That's who we are.
I think, I mean, there are so many people, from your mum to your dinner lady, to so many teachers when you think about it. Yeah. But I remember, as a middle-aged homosexual, obviously I drew great inspiration from a fantastic British show in the 80s called Tenko, which is about women in a prisoner of war camp in Japan. It's a superb series, really, really stands up very well. And of course, there was at the time it was like, it's an all-female cast, and that was noteworthy in the 80s. It's ridiculous that it even was then. But my God, shows like that will show you what a powerhouse you get when you get a brilliant group of actresses together like that and give them really essentially all the roles that would normally be taken by men, because they are just all the leads, and they're allowed to be heroic and weak. They're allowed to be bad and good, and there's nobody trying to put a massive sort of pair of inverted commas around it. It's just like, this is just great people.
That's it. Well, we really appreciate you guys coming out and talk to us.
Thank
you so much for taking care of Who for us for a while. Take care. Thank you so much.